Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As you come into the live chat, be sure to drop your elephants, your crowns, and your high heels. And let me know where you're watching from. This is our weekly and second to last recap of the first season of And Just Like That, the HBO Max reboot of one of our favorite shows, Sex and the City. So be sure to share this live on your social media. Let's enjoy this. Get something spicy to drink. That for me, it'll be my water. And your best shoes. We will be dropping the call-in link for you guys to call in. So be sure to like the video, get those likes up, share it. Let's go. We're just starting. Let's get into some, you know what we like to do on a Friday night? Come on. They were trying to get into that club. Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get a mix of hot topics and some music. If this is your very first first time being here, be sure to like the video and subscribe because you're getting daily and consistent hot topics and reality TV recaps and scripted television recaps every once in a blue. Don't forget, guys, we will be going live on our TikTok for a special watch party of a special documentary, two-parter. So be sure to be there at TheKempire on TikTok. Be sure to subscribe. All right. TikTok. Hold on, let me. We are recapping the latest episode of And Just Like That. Second to last episode. This is almost done, y'all. And I know people are still having mixed feelings about the season. I even asked my friend. She said, I'm not, I checked out. You checked out? Loyal over here. That Taurus in me. Loyal. I am pushing for that role next season. I need us to have another season so I can be on it. Either way, if you missed any of our recaps of And Just Like That, you missed a lot. So be sure to check those out. They're worth watching again and having fun with us, where we recap some of our favorite moments and some of our old favorite moments and compare them to what's going on in And Just Like That. I've enjoyed the season. Has it been perfect? Far from perfect. But I've enjoyed the season. I've also enjoyed listening to the podcast. Again, they're not paying me. I just like to listen to the podcast so they can give me some sort of connection on why they do what they do in the episode. So let's just talk about the episode, and I will be dropping the call-in link for you guys to call in. So again, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Shout out to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members, and of course, show some love to our moderators. All right. So at the top of the episode, the ladies are together. When I say the ladies, of course, are a trifecta. I was about to say Sam. No. Miranda, Carrie, and Charlotte. You know, last week I was very critical of Charlotte and her storyline. This week, I enjoyed Charlotte. I enjoyed Charlotte and Lily running around trying to figure out how to use a tampon, which led me to the conversation because as a guy growing up, not dealing with that, I didn't know that this was a thing. I didn't know that someone had to show you how to use a tampon. I don't think I necessarily know how a tampon works at this point. And if I ever have a little girl, I might need to know. Right? I see people already rating this episode, guys. As always, if you had to rate this episode from 1 to 10, 1 being get rid of LTW, 10, damn it, give us season 2 already and put Kempire in it. I have to say, speaking of LTW, shout out to Nicole Ari Parker. I was the most excited about her being on it, especially because I saw snapshots. I said, oh my gosh, she's going to be perfect. She's going to give us that fashion moment and what we need in the show. And it kind of fell flat, but I did enjoy her this episode. They keep putting her in these crazy outfits. You notice that? No one else is really, the only other person that really wears the crazy outfits was Carrie. But I feel like they do that with LTW, Nicole Ari Parker's character. And I like it. I like it. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Yes, Kempire for season 2. Omar, come on. You guys, these damn gymnastic scores. 9.23. Box to Girl says 7.25. It's like a running joke now at this point. All right. 8.2. Okay. All right. 7.8976. Okay. DGF says 7.5. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Lulu. Hey, Lulu. A solid 5. Ooh, Jamila, you're tough. Warrior Empath says 9. All right. If I had to rate this episode, it wasn't the best episode, but why did I get in my feelings seeing the preview for the finale? I was like, whoa, this finale is going to be good. What I did enjoy about this episode was that we got all of the new characters together and meeting each other for the first time. I loved it. I loved that addition, and it felt natural. It didn't feel too forced. Okay. All right. Jillian says 8, 6.5, 7. Sin with the 7.879. 8. Oh, damn. Sister on the Move says 5.1367. As a rating. All right. Mocha says an 8.8. That's pretty good. Frady Cat says I was more entertained by you dancing to elevator music. Oh Lord, this is not good for Hollywood. 10 for LTW's boots. Yes. First of all, did I? Yes, I did pull that picture up. Hold on. Because you brought it up. I know we're going to be jumping around, but this is our recap. We can jump around if we want to. Look, we can jump around if we want to. Let me, because I actually saved this photo and I want to bring it up. I didn't get a chance to upload it before, but let me bring it up so that you guys can see this fact. I feel like they're really giving her fashion moments in this, and I can appreciate that. I didn't love her character, and I still feel like they've dropped the ball on what she can do for us in this. But look at this. This outfit, this is not the first time that they put her in something so crazy. This is Machino, the outfit. The outfit had makeup brushes, it had brushes, but look at her. She looks fabulous. She looks fabulous. Nicole R.E. Parker. You know, last week I was like, oh, she can go. This week, I'm like, oh, she can stay. I love the fact that she's like a boss lady. She comes in, Naya's having an issue with the caterers, and she's like, oh, I can take care of it. And all of a sudden, food trucks start arriving. I love that about her. I love that about her. She's a fixer. Oh, damn, Sister on the Move says she still can go. Damn it. We got to give her a chance. This is not Nicole R.E. Parker's fault. This is the writer's fault. Nicole R.E. Parker could easily have been the downstairs neighbor. Speaking of which, that's what this whole episode really is about. It's about Carrie and her journey of losing her husband. And I know anyone that's ever lost someone can probably relate to this journey. So many people have been judgmental of Nene and how she's moved on since Greg has passed. And this is leading to the conversation. How much time is it that you need in order to move forward? As you probably saw in the preview, Carrie's going to kiss this man. And I have to say, looking at him, I'm like, yeah, this probably would be her type. This probably would be her type. He's not a boss man like Big was. He's a teacher, which I kind of like for Carrie. As you get older, what you liked in the past is not what you're going to like now. And what you liked, as someone that just passed away, is not necessarily going to be the same person that you're going to want to move on to next. But this episode was really about Carrie trying to move on. She planned a second date with this man. But she's like, because the downstairs neighbor, first of all, the downstairs neighbor, when she looked at Carrie's ring, if Carrie had on her engagement ring, we know she doesn't have an engagement ring. Okay. All right. But I can understand if the ring was spectacular. Downstairs neighbor was like, oh my God, that's a fabulous ring. And she was like, oh yeah. It's I forgot her exact words, but she alluded to that she's married. That was the most unspectacular ring for her to comment on, unless she was just being nosy. And some neighbors are like that. They're just being nosy, even though they'll say something that's like, girl, you're just being nosy. You want to know if I'm married. Where's the husband at? You haven't seen me with the husband, which could have been her way of doing that. I don't know how I feel about the downstairs neighbor. What's her name again? Lisette? Whatever. It's unimportant. I'm hoping she will go. I hope someone will move in next season. I hope they have someone else moving downstairs. You know how New York is. People don't stay around for forever or stay in the same apartment forever. That's highly unusual for like the newbies, the ones that come from California, the ones that come from the Midwest. They don't stay in the same apartment forever. No shade. It's the truth. If you're from New York, you know what I'm talking about. The rumor on the street was Aiden was going to make an appearance. We haven't seen Aiden yet, but they've had to scramble to edit Big out. According to IMDb, he was supposed to be in like 6 episodes. And I'm guessing in like flashbacks. As you saw in this episode was far shorter than the previous episodes that we got. And just like that, producers and writers, do not make this a habit. We like the 45 minutes. 40 to 45 minutes. 45 minutes preferably. Just saying. Omar says, I thought so too, but when they showed them going in at the end, it showed Z, and the bouncer was like, hey, boss. So I was like, did she just buy this club? Oh, no. I was wondering why they zoomed in on the Z. We will get to the end. We'll get to the end because there's just some unrealistic things. And look, if you guys need us to be a consultant, we are every single week. Every single week, Michael Patrick King, we are letting you know what we think is believable and what we think is not believable. And again, every single week since they had LTW take that French fry out of the Carrie's food, I said, hell no, that would have never happened. I'm going to bring it up every single week. Oh, yeah, exactly. In regards to Aiden coming back, they kissed in Dubai. Easy comeback. But he was married, right? He was married. Oh, Lord. Look. Exactly. We're flexible. I just checked IMDb and John Corbett and Just Like That is not it. Well, I mean, things can change. Hello, look what the big situation. Look at the Portia Family of Lies situation. They were supposed to have 2 more episodes too. Just saying. Yes, Aiden is married and has kids. I think people just want to bring back some of that old feeling. I'm okay with moving forward. And that's at the top of this episode. Carrie is ready to go on a date, her second date with this man. The first date didn't go so well. They got so drunk and they had that hurling moment that we never expected. But of course, you may remember, I think it was a couple of episodes ago, Naya was trying to enlist Miranda to help her out with this new charity project. And now Miranda's inviting the other ladies, which is a perfect segue for all of the other side characters to come back. Sidebar, I don't know if anyone notices in the ending credits, Naya and LTW are really just guest stars. Seema's the only one that is a part of the cast. And I'm loving the friendship that's being formed between Seema and Carrie. It feels so organic. It feels so natural. Everyone is loving Seema because Seema's incredible. We will get to Seema in just a second. So Miranda, because very much like when Carrie said, I'll write a check, Carrie's like, I'm not painting. I would paint. Like for my friends, I would paint. For charity, I would paint too. I mean, especially if it's all of us painting together, like me and my friends. But I'm like, I'll write a check. Look, a check is money is king, okay? But Miranda, again, a lot of people are criticizing and Just Like That for being so extrally woke. She's like, you can't be the white woman that writes a check. And then Carrie feels ashamed. And she's like, understood. Charlotte, for me, this episode was so funny because she's not only is she dealing with her daughter, and you got to pay attention. These producers and writers are very strategic in what they're doing. They're being poetic in what they're trying to tell us, because you have Charlotte supposedly closing the door on her period, and Lily opening the door to her period, and now saying that. Why didn't you want to use the tampon? Is it you ladies are going to have to call in and explain the tampon situation to me, because I have no idea. And I have 3 sisters. And I grew up in a house full of ladies. So you're going to have to explain this to me. I never had these conversations with them. So all of you are going to have to call in and explain to me, first of all, why Lily did not want to use the tampon. Why was it such a situation for her to learn how to use the tampon? I mean, I get it. She's injecting it into somewhere that, I do know that, back in the day, that was sort of like, oh, you don't do that. It wasn't the thing to do. Yes, poetic. Y'all don't realize that moment between Lily talking about her menstrual cycle and Charlotte. First of all, Charlotte shading them and saying, well, when you guys went through menopause, I was still getting my cycle, and I didn't go through, I think I'm at that point right now in my life, but I didn't have all the issues that you guys had, the flashes, whatever. All of that stuff. Shut up, Data. Data said Kemp knows nothing about no V. I don't. Okay. Southern Girl says, I could feel Lily's pain and frustration. I need to understand this. I'm very inquisitive. Foxy says tampons are the best. I'm very inquisitive. I've always been very fascinated about the female experience, but this is one area that I have never addressed. I'm going to be addressing it today. So understand, when you call in, you're going to be explaining this to me and the struggle. But to me, this week's episode really was a fun moment with Charlotte because we know Charlotte is so prim and proper, and now she has her daughter and she's trying to help her daughter through the situation. But at first, she's telling the girls, "I think I think I'm in a menopause now." She's in menopause. See, Galia says, "Wow, you're clueless." Yes. Why would I need to know? I don't have a daughter either. Just saying. And I'm sure a lot of gay men that adopted girls or have teenage girls now are probably like, I had to enlist my mom. I had to enlist my sister. I had to enlist my girlfriend. How are we supposed to know? I'm not shopping for tampons. Okay, someone says, oh, you start with pads. Okay, this is the conversation that we're having tonight, y'all. I was very fascinated. Fascinated. Thank you so much, Booty Quake It. In my TikTok chat says, hope you are having a great day so far. I hope you are as well. MZ says, because Seema is who Carrie would have been if she didn't marry Big. That is so deep. Wow. Is Seema who Carrie would have been if she didn't marry Big? Wow. 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 Shay says, this is not live. Nelly says, I love this conversation. Y'all gonna have to teach me a lot today. Thankfully, we have a lot of female watchers because I need to know, I need to understand. Guys, if you're just joining us, of course, this is our weekly recap of And Just Like That. It's not a recap of menstrual cycles. This is what we talk about because that is the big story this week. Okay, we'll move on. Carrie's downstairs neighbor comes upstairs, asks her to wear the ring. That's where the ring conversation about Carrie and her losing her husband. And it's an awkward conversation to tell someone that you barely know, my husband died. My husband died. She didn't know. She's just meeting Carrie. She didn't know anything about Carrie. But she wants Carrie, this is also Carrie loving the fact that she thinks that, that Lisette thinks that she's cool. All right, if you could post it on Instagram. I love your podcast. She loves her podcast. I'm thinking that, maybe she read her column back in the day or her book. No, she's too young for that. Janice says, Kempire, be glad you never had to make a choice. Oh, I really want to, I'm very inquisitive. So I'm just saying, when you guys call in, I will be asking questions. Just saying. Anyways, so of course, as I said to you before, we have the scene with Charlotte dealing with Rock because Rock is going to have a mitzvah. I really want to know. Shout out to my Jewish friends. I want to know if this has really happened, where you have had a non-binary mitzvah, a mitzvah, because as you know, Rock identifies as non-binary. We've seen that transition in this season. So it'll be interesting because next week's episode looks like Rock is not interested in this celebration at all. But we'll talk about that next week. Lily comes to her mom, screams to her mom. It was nice to see Anthony in his own little getup that he has those guys wear. It's nice to see a little bit more of Anthony again. Just another week. I'll say I really wish we could have gotten more Willie Garson. Unfortunately, he was too ill to continue filming. They did have a 10-episode arc with him. We were going to see 10 episodes of Willie Garson, but those first 3 were so memorable. He had some of the best lines, and I'm going to say that every single week, next week as well, so stay tuned. I felt in love with him again. I was like, oh my God, why didn't we get more Stanny in the original? Either way. Look, Miranda and Che are on a date. I think people are warming up to Che now. Are people warming up to Che now? I've liked Che from the beginning. Y'all were on the fence about Che. Y'all did not like Che. I don't know why. I think y'all were just jealous. No, I think you guys didn't like Che because you felt as if the writers and producers were trying to force something instead of naturally have it happen. But now a lot of you are embracing Che. So Che and Miranda are out on a date. They're having a good time. We thought, oh my God, Miranda's going to go surprise Che. She's doing too much. Calm down, Miranda. No, but they're having a good time. They like each other. Che is not who you think Che is. Che, not necessarily a monogamous, but seems like they want to be monogamous with Miranda. All right. So Che has some fans because Che's a comedian. So the fans come over, and I love how the fans are. Some people are just so. I don't think people realize what they say sometimes. Why would they bring up the people that they know have slept with Che? I know why the writers did it. They wanted to purposely let people know that Che has slept with both men and women. Okay. But it was also important to notice how Miranda described herself to these fans. Oh, I'm just the girlfriend. And then you see Che's reaction to that, the girlfriend. Because Che is non-traditional. Remember last week, Che says, I'm not traditional. If you're looking for something traditional, that is not me. But I think a lot of you thought when Che says, I'm not traditional, oh, Che is into, multiple partners and this or that, or not labeled and blah, 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 blah. No. Although Che says that they are not traditional, I see a little tradition in there. Just saying. We shall see. I want Che to come back. I don't care what anyone says. Che must come back. LTW, I'm on the fence. I just want to see her in those fashions. But they have to do better with her character. Michael Patrick King, do better with her character next season. We need something better with her character next season. Seema and Carrie go partying. Let me share with you something. New York City nightlife is not what it used to be. It was on its last leg when I was out and about and dancing and having a good time. New York City nightlife is not it anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't know which mayor did it. Was it Giuliani? I don't remember. New York City nightlife is not what it used to be, gay or straight. Just saying. It's not. New Yorkers, for those watching the replay, let me know if you agree with me or not. It's not. So to see them out waiting on a line, I was like, first of all, back in the day when I was going out to club, I used to hate waiting on lines. I said, one day I will go right to the front and go right on in. Logan said, "We'll see." Exactly. He'll say De Blasio, not remembering that it was on its last leg when I was out clubbing. So, yeah, Bloomberg, Miss Brooklyn would remember. I just couldn't remember the trend. I was like, who was the mayor at the time? It was around that time. It was definitely before De Blasio. We can blame De Blasio for a lot, but we can't blame him for that. New York has been changing in the nightlife for over a decade. So. Sass, it used to be. I couldn't. No, there are some clubs still left. I haven't been to one since the pandemic, so I don't even know. They're probably out there still hanging. They're probably out there tonight. I'm not going. I'm not going. I don't know where you been. Omicron. That's just me, though. That's just me. Janae said, "Wait till summer." Janae, we've been waiting for years for the nightlife to come back. It's been a few years. Like I said, like a decade of New York is not the city that doesn't sleep. Sorry. Yeah. Anyways, back to this. So we find out while they wait online and while Seema offends the bouncer, the bouncer's like, her trying to bribe him was offensive. But they're like, we are waiting on a line, but it's Seema's birthday. God, at 50 something years old, will I still be going to the club? If you are in your 50s and you're watching this, are you still going to the club? And it's not a judgment. I'm not saying if you do, there's a problem. I just wonder, when I'm 50, I don't want to go to the club now. I don't want to go to the club now, y'all. Just saying. Thank you, Danielle, for the super chat. Danielle says, I used to drive from DC to New York to go out to the club. Wow. That's when it was popping. Okay. All right. We got some 50-year-olds saying like, nope. Yep. Hell no. This is hilarious. You guys are, hey, Miss Bernice. Oh, Elaine says, nope. I'm 39 and I haven't been in a club in years. When was the last time I went to a club? Oh, when I went to Amsterdam, I went to a club. I don't know. Would that be considered a club? I guess it was sort of clubbish. It was like a little show that they had there, but it looked like a club. It had a bar. It looked like a club. People were dancing. It was a club. I went to the club last year. There we go. Puerto Rican mom says New York is sleeping now. I love your elephant in Puerto Rican mom. That's so cute. You're in the perfect place. We love elephants here. Can I just do this one time? I know that's my new favorite sound of the week. Guys, if you missed our town hall, we had 2 town hall meetings. Our pop culture town hall meetings were a huge success. Shout out to you guys that were a part of it, that called in, that were part of the conversation, that are continuing the conversation in the comment section. Be sure to check that out. We addressed Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We addressed the Cardi B and Tasha K situation, and we addressed the Kanye West situation. So be sure to check that out. Why are we talking about strip clubs? I've never been to a strip club here in New York. I know that they exist or existed. Oh, wait, no. Jen Shaw was here recently at a strip club trying to make some money. Just saying. Oh, April says, where's the shimmy? The strip club, where's the shimmy? Okay, Janae said, I went to a club a couple of years ago. I was a fish out of water. I know. It's not what it used to be. I prefer a lounge. With some good music. Yes. Thank you so much. I love the town hall meetings. Alex, what's going on? Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. Alex says, we are watching Janet tonight. Hell with the club. Exactly. The Janet documentary part 1 comes out tonight on A&E. And I believe also on Lifetime. I have it set to record. Oh, Nelly, thank you so much. I love this channel. Kempire makes me happy. I love when you guys say that. That's a huge deal. Thank you. All right, so back to the And Just Like That recap. I digress way too far. All right, so Che and Miranda are on the date. We'll move on because we will revisit that conversation. Seema and Carrie go out clubbing, but they end up not. Have you ever had that moment? Look, another digression. Have you ever had that moment where you end up saying that you're going to the club, but you end up at a diner or end up somewhere getting a drink or end up getting, just food and not going out with your friends? Well, of course, we find out it's Seema's birthday, and Seema says, she had said 53 was when she was going to find the love of her life, the man. But she did say that, for 53, she found her friendship with Carrie. Again, another indication that this is a real friendship that we're being introduced to this season, a friendship that she needed. This is a friend. A lot of people say this, that it's hard to have friendships as you get older. So when you do find those people, they're a big deal. And a lot of times they're fast and furious, very much like relationships when you get a little bit older. And it feels so organic between Seema and Carrie. They did a great job with that. I don't know about the other ladies, even though I have to say Naya and Miranda's relationship, I feel a little bit more natural and embracing of now. Okay. I just want to make sure I don't miss it because I take notes, y'all. When I rewatch it, I take notes. So Charlotte has a dinner with Anthony, and I have to say, because I saw there was an article where people were giving backlash to this week's episode because of the Holocaust joke that was made, and it was in poor taste because it also was the Holocaust Remembrance Day when this episode came out, right? Am I mistaken? Wasn't that this week? I just didn't feel like it was necessary. It felt so out of place. It wasn't a necessary scene. So Anthony brings a date to Charlotte's home because she's having, dinner. And of course, Lily's like, I'm ready for you to show me how to use a tampon. We are about to have guests, Lily. So she walks away. She tells Harry to check on the challah bread. And Anthony's date is like, oh, this is a Jewish dinner? First of all, I cringed when he said that. And then they said yes. And then he was like, the Holocaust was a hoax. And then immediately Anthony in a high-pitched voice is like, get out. I should so get a little snippet of that so I can play it here. Because I love his voice. It was so unnecessary. It was an unnecessary scene. I didn't understand why we needed that. And for it to come out I think the same day as the Holocaust Remembrance Day, it was just like, ooh, first of all, bad timing, and it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. They don't even address it in the Writers' Room podcast. I wish they kind of would have, because then it would have given us an idea why they decided to do that. It didn't make sense. I would have preferred to see this man at the dinner table with them. I know he, all of them apologize at the table, and then Anthony apologizes for that. They could have went somewhere else with that. Yeah. Yeah. Look. Oh, Nora says, was it a joke? I did not take it as a joke. Maybe it's just me. Well, that's the thing. I think they intended it to be a joke, but it fell flat. And I just don't understand how they did that. Did they have anyone Jewish at the table when they decided to write that? Is Harry Jewish in real life? It just didn't make sense. And then for the timing of it to come out, I know they were very busy trying to edit Big out, but it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense at all. Norma says, so unfunny. And it was not well, I would hope people will understand that. But there is that faction of people that do believe that. Millions of lives lost. Either way, we know that it's not. And the seriousness of that, I just didn't understand it, but I had to talk about it because I did see articles where people were talking about it, and I hadn't seen the scene yet. Then I watched the scene a couple of times, and I was just like, huh? Yeah. Nina says the whole scene was weird. They're listening to us. Hey, Michael Patrick King, I won a role. Look, I got an Oscar and an Emmy. Look, wait, wrong way. Anyways. Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. Sasuke says people who believe that are disgusting and ignorant. Clearly ignorant. When I went to Berlin for Christmas 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago at this point because of pandemic, I also did a trip to one of the concentration camps in Germany, and we literally were outside, and it was cold. It was a cold time in Germany because December, and when they were describing how people literally just had like light pair, they didn't have like a big jacket on, being outside in that type of cold, it made you really understand like this. It just gave another emphasis of just a small part of the torture that people went through. So for people to have that narrative of it being a hoax is incredibly insensitive and disgusting. And I just don't understand why, and just like that would try to make a light of that. Yeah. All right. We'll move on because we have a lot more to talk about. So Miranda surprises Che with cookies. And the biggest disappointment for me in that particular scene was the fact that she took the cookies with her. Y'all know I love me a cookie. When Che says, "Can I have the cookies though?" She's like, Miranda's like, "No, I'm taking the cookies with me." No, I want the cookies. I want the cookies. But this is where they are confronted. I think a lot of people thought when Miranda arrived at Che's door that Che had somebody in there. And Che was like, yeah, somebody's here. Me, I'm working. An FYI to my future husband. Don't you? Well, okay, if we're sharing a home, of course you can just show up. But I don't like when people just show up to my house. I just had that happen a few weeks ago. Someone that was doing work on my house and they had to finish something and they just showed up. I was like, no. You need to call first. Don't be just showing up to my house. I don't like that. Even my family members will text me before they come. I mean, I don't think I would mind it if someone I was dating would do it, but I still would probably in my head think that's a little bold just to show up. But Miranda is confused. She is trying to understand, what are we doing? Are we dating? What are we doing? We have that infamous. I always prepare for the show, and I never remember to use any of the stuff that I prepared. Where is that picture? Hold on, y'all. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not oh, he's yummy to me in some strange way. We will talk about him in just a second. We will talk about him in just a second. Where is my? Hold on, y'all. There we go. With this moment, it's a live show, y'all. Southern Girl says, you be left outside. Sass says, nope, my doorman is not allowing. See, that's the other thing that I can't wait to move into a doorman building, because that's another another way to kind of keep people out. No, I'm not home. I didn't like that. Nora says, call before you come to my home. Yeah. But this forces them to have a conversation. But Miranda, she gets so high strung. She's running down the stairs. Oh, no, I'm sorry. But they have a conversation that they needed to have. What are we doing? Who are we? But Che says again, I'm not traditional. This, you referring to yourself as my girlfriend, but you're the only person I'm sleeping with. So I think a lot of people are surprised by that too. A lot of people thought that Che was a, how would you, a player? Yeah, a player. I think a lot of people thought that Che was a player. Let me just say thank you. Thank you, Matt, for the super chat. OMG Kempire. Got to see Janet at Rhythm Nation tour with my old roommate, Wayne Hawkins. What up, Wayne? I never got to see Janet in live, which is terrible on me. I know she's going to start touring again after this. This is a whole market campaign that she's doing. Don't forget, Janet Jackson's documentary, a two-parter, comes out tonight on A&E and Lifetime. And I think she should have waited until the Super Bowl. Don't forget Super Bowl, I think it's February 13th. That is Janet Jackson Appreciation Day. She's also going to be addressing the whole Super Bowl situation. I'm interested. I can't wait to see it. Oh, Ms. Brooklyn says, I saw her last concert at Barclays. Okay. I really should have went. Look, I should have went. Next time, though. Next time. Everyone loves Janet. Right, Nina? Love Janet. My Taurus sister. I know. Sass says, why is Janet on Lifetime? I know. It should be HBO Max. Something. But they probably just had the better deal. The more money. Hopefully they do a good job. Hopefully it's not like that Wendy Williams Lifetime movie. The documentary for Wendy Williams was good, but the movie was terrible. Anyways. Because it's Carrie. Son says, why was Carrie wearing heels to paint? Because it's Carrie. Where's my picture? No, not him. Look, damn, I keep coming back to him. Carrie. Okay, we're going to talk. We're going to get here. We're going to get here. Okay, so finally, we have a scene where all of the characters, the new characters, the old characters, come together during this second to last episode of the new season of And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot. So this conversation that these two have, my heart breaks for Steve again this week. He does not want to accept that this relationship is over with Miranda. Of course, he's a good guy. He's going to show up. They plan to do this whole situation, this charity situation, as a family. The hug between Carrie and Brady felt so awkward. It felt so relatable and comfortable when she was with Lily. It just feels awkward with Brady. And I think maybe because we don't get a lot of interaction between the ladies and the kids, it felt awkward to me. I don't know. I didn't. Oh. Data says, oh, Steve, I almost cried. Yeah, because Steve doesn't want to let go of the relationship. But before we get to Steve and the conversation that he has with Carrie, all the characters meet. All the characters finally meet in the situation. LTW with her interesting Machino outfit with the brush and the this and that on there. She jumps in. Miranda judges her because she's coming out. First of all, she shows up in, I haven't seen a limo in years. I don't know where they found this limo. Apparently, they still have limos. Charlotte pulls up with her kids, LTW's kids and husband, and they're all ready to help and paint. But of course, what a way to show up. LTW says, no, I originally asked for a bus and this is what they sent. But she also shows up with a camera, and Miranda says to Carrie, she's very judgy of her until she hears what LTW says to Naya. I thought I would take some pictures so you can post it on your website. Remember, LTW is a documentarian, so pictures from her is going to be like top grade, okay? And then Carrie's like, how do you must feel real bad about yourself right now. Just saying. I love that, but I also love seeing all of the characters come together. All the characters come together, including Seema. So Seema's me. I'm like, I'm not gonna. I mean, I would paint. Don't think that I would not paint. I would, but if I don't have to, and I can pay you, I'll give you a check. Then I can do that. I can definitely do that. Seema does say this though, which I thought was interesting because Carrie brings up what Miranda says to her. She's like, I can't be the white woman writing a check. And then Seema says to you, wait, I wrote this down because I thought it was so good. Because I so agree with this. Oh, Seema says it's so hard to be white now. I was like, sometimes I do want to say that to my white friends, almost as a joke, but at the same time, I'm sure that's how they feel. So I'm being facetious in it because in reality, it really isn't. But I love that they added that element in there. And I'm glad it was Seema who said it. Because I do think there was a level of sarcasm when she was saying it. Dr. Payne, thank you so much for the super chat. My heart is sad for Steve. Curious about the limo. Isn't Seema's new boo? Isn't Seema's new boo the guy from Emily in Paris? Thank you. Dr. Payne, it's like you were reading my mind. I was like, why does he look familiar? I was literally just last weekend watching an episode of Emily in Paris, and he's the guy in it. But he's been in so many other things. But thank you for that. Thank you for that. Someone says smoking is so 1990s because Seema smokes. Sidebar, guys. Again, another reason why I listen to their Writers Room podcast. I didn't realize that Seema, the real life actress, is besties with LTW. They're real life best friends. Who knew? Okay. Foxy says hard to be white. Question. She was being facetious. Exactly. Garen says it was tongue-in-cheek comment. Yes, I don't think she meant it. But I like that they added it in there. Bernie says, I would be the brown girl sitting in the corner laughing my butt off. And I love how she also says that too. Seema, as she walks off, this brown girl is going to write you a check and I'll be over there. Okay. MBK says, oh, I haven't seen Emily in Paris yet, but I knew the accent was Frenchy. Not Frenchy. Where is Sonia Morgan? How's she doing? What is Sonia doing with her time with this long pause? What is she doing with her time? Sonia says, ugh, there's a ton of smokers here in Texas. Nasty. People smoking cars with windows up. Look, I believe there's still tons of smokers here too. In New York. I just don't smoke. I'm not around them. I don't know. But I love it for Seema. I don't know if she really smokes in real life, but I love her. Anyways, there are several stories happening at this damn charity event. We've got Charlotte dealing with her daughter who can't find the string. Guys, you're going to have to explain to me. I know that there's a string. Is that the string that you're supposed to pull to remove the tampon? Well, Lily can't find the string and she's losing her mind and needs Charlotte to help her find the string. The other storyline we have is Naya. As you know, Naya's story this entire season was the struggle between having kids. You know, she's been trying to have kids and then they sort of kind of moved on and said, we're not going to do it. But her husband sees LTW's husband with the kids. And he's like, he's at that point in his life. There are some men that have that happen at a certain age, even though they were, you know, out and about in their 20s doing, you know, traveling and focus on the career. Some guys have that little itch. I'm ready to have a kid. And Naya's like, I thought we were in the same place with this. And this might be the end of their relationship. This is a deal breaker for some people, which is sad because we've seen how in love and how passionate the week before we saw how passionate this man kissed Naya. He was just going to go to one of the carts and he had to give her that passionate kiss before he left. So there's this deep love between them, but there's a big issue also between them. And that's she doesn't know if she even wants kids. And he does. And he's not sure if he's willing to just let that go. Damn, Naya. But I get your struggle, Naya. And that actor, what is that actor's name? He's cute too. Look, he's cute too. No issues for LTW. Y'all really just dropped the ball on LTW. There was no issues for her. She's just fabulous, solving things. But the other issue, of course, Carrie. Guys, I didn't get a chance to label these things. Hold on. I want to find the, no, not that one. Not that one either. Oh, Lord. No, we're gonna get to my boo in a second. Steve. Oh, Steve. LTW is played by Nicole Ari Parker. That was Charlotte's friend. LTW's issue is her mother-in-law. Okay, but that was like how many episodes ago? Oh, Lord. For those that are just joining us, we are doing our Sex and the City reboot recap, and just like that, which we do every single Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. PST. This conversation between Carrie and Steve was so awkward because I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where your friend's ex or friend's partner puts you in an awkward position. That was an awkward position because Steve's like, did you introduce them? Did you introduce them to Che? And I love how Carrie brings it back because she makes it not about it being another woman or another person. She said, no, I think it's just Che. And it was such an awkward moment. So awkward at one point, she steps into paint. So she's wearing heels because it's Carrie. If Carrie went in there with flats and boots or something, we all would have been like, really? No, Carrie goes in her overalls in heels, party heels. Jacque says, will there be a season 2? No word yet, but I have a feeling that there will be a season 2. Abundantly, Cindy says, yes, it was awkward, but Carrie handled it well. She handled it way better than I would, because I don't know what I would have said if confronted. I mean, I introduced them. I also witnessed them having sex in my kitchen, but I'm not going to tell you all that. Guys, we're almost at 200 likes. Be sure to like the video. Let's get to 200, and I'll drop the call-in link for you guys to share your thoughts on the latest episode of And Just Like That. But as always, take a sip. Every single week when we do our And Just Like That recap, I ask you to drink something spicy, pull out your best heels. Right now, I got some really great Amazon puffy slippers on. But also, get a coldest water bottle. Yeah, why not? Get a coldest water bottle. It keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. Comes in multiple colors, multiple sizes, and you can get it engraved with your name so no one in your family can steal your water bottle. And you can get a discount with 10% off with the discount code KEMP10. Again, KEMP10. Get your coldest water bottle today. More information is available in the description of this video. Okay. Why is this song in my head? A lovely night. A Cinderella starring Brandy. I don't know why that's in my head. Because it is a lovely night. Let me drop the call-in link. We've reached our goal. Let me drop the call-in link because I know you guys have things that you want to say. Thank you so much for all being here. Next week is the finale for Sex and the City. Sex and the City and Just Like That. It is the finale. So that will be interesting. The preview alone already is giving me feels. It's already giving me feels. And I'm just letting you know, Michael Patrick King, we better have an hour. Let it be an hour, please. Please, pretty please. I've enjoyed this season. It wasn't perfect. I didn't like what we had this week when it came to that terrible joke at Charlotte's home. Sidebar, I did not expect that Charlotte would have that little accident at the apparently there's something called a flash period. Is that real? Look, is that real? For those of you that watch with your husbands, you're welcome. All right. Oh wait, wait, let me see something. No, I am not. See, I'm live on TikTok as well, y'all. People requesting me to go live with me. No. Mel C says menopause is no joke. I know. I have people in my life that have gone through it and they still are like suffering. Hot flashes in the middle of the night, sweating. I'm glad you women. You women. God bless you because whoo! I don't know how y'all do it. I can't. When I'm hot in here, y'all know I get like, I'm hot. All right, we have a full backstage. Danielle, you're first. You want me to wait and go to someone else? Oh, you want to go? Okay, because I wasn't sure because sometimes Danielle. Shout out to our Team Kempire Royal Court members, guys. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com. Subscribe to our podcast, Kempire Radio. A new episode will be coming out tomorrow. We're going to get into some callers right now. All right. Danielle is here. What's going on, Danielle?
Hey there.
How are you?
I'm good. It's no date night tonight. I'm in the house.
Good.
Only because it's snowing outside.
Oh, damn. Is it right?
Date night tomorrow.
You sure about tomorrow?
Yes, I need your help. So we have Red Stella Rosa.
Uh-huh.
That's really good. I need help. So we're going to go with this bag tomorrow.
Okay, wait. I'm going to pull myself.
You see?
I like.
So this is my Camel Chanel Jumbo. Cool. Question is, what shoes? So these are.
I just want to remind people there is supposed to be some sort of. I don't know how. I haven't looked at the weather or anything like that. I know it's supposed to snow. You're going to wear those in the snow?
Yeah, they got on me last week for wearing tennis shoes.
I didn't. They did. I was like, it makes sense to me.
It made sense to me too. But these are Python or something by Coach.
Okay, those are really cute. I like those. Okay, can we see the other option?
The other option are these nude pumps by Nine West. How long ago have we worn Nine West? But they're so freaking cute. The little bow on the front.
I just wish you luck because I'm just like, it's gonna be cold in DC.
I go from the garage to wherever we're going.
Okay.
So it's like, and he drops me off at the door wherever we're going, and he goes and parks, and then he comes back and picks me up. So
what a gentleman.
Of course.
So you're trying to figure out what to wear. I'm thinking the black ones.
The black. Okay, so let
me see what the chat is saying. Hold on. Nude pump. All right, wait, hold on. Nine West nude pumps. Oh wait, I guess people disagree with me. Oh damn, is it blizzard the entire East Coast?
That's what they say.
Oh God. No kitten heels. Pretty bag. All right. Well, she'll be checking your comments later, guys. So be sure to check that out. Danielle, thoughts on this episode?
I was trying to get Dylan to join me. And for those that don't know, Dylan's my 13-year-old daughter. Because she has now decided that she no longer wants to participate in swim team because she has her lady cycle.
Oh.
And we had the conversation about tampons. So when you guys call in, let me know. I called. I was like, hey, do you want to talk to Kempire and give him like your perspective? She was like, no, I don't want to go live. But she's like, it's just uncomfortable. So she said for her, it's uncomfortable the thought of trying to insert it or whatever, how it works. I used to live by them. So her 13-year-old mind, she's totally against it. She's like, no, it just doesn't make sense to her. So I don't know what it is. I lived by them. I I think I was young when I started wearing them. My mother didn't teach me. My mother, that was old. Because I'm a little older. That wasn't a conversation she had. She wasn't like, try these. I just did it because I thought it made more sense. But I
Mm.
don't know what it is about not people or young ladies not wanting to wear them. So I don't know. I live by them. I saw a lot of ladies in the comment who said they live by them. So I don't know what that is.
Wow.
I thought it was interesting that Charlotte, how she handled it seemed kind of weird to me
Mm.
for Charlotte. But then to me, Lily was like really aggressive with it too. Like, mom, like all the screaming and stuff about it was too much.
Yeah. I mean, it's comedy.
Yeah, I think that's what it was for, the comic relief of it. The nightlife in New York used to be the bomb. I go to lounges, I guess, here. We don't really call them club. I mean, we still kind of get up and dance if the music moves you. But I don't see me being 50 years old going to a nightclub. I see me right now, like I'm doing, about to put a face mask on, my Skims robe, covered in the house with a glass of wine, watching you, and being just cozy and chill because no one's going to a club. It's too hot. It's COVID. It's too much. No one's doing that. But I thought
Miami, they are.
yeah, well, and apparently in Texas, because if you got young folks in your family that you follow on social media in Texas, they still getting down Texas and in Miami out here partying. The only part I didn't like about this episode was the awkwardness. Miranda is so awkward with the chasing of the Che.
Not the chasing. That's like a show.
And that's probably what it is. And that's our own little mini series with inside it. She's just so weird. But I don't think she and Steve are going to get divorced. After watching this episode, I don't think this is because Steve he's not really fighting, but he's trying to understand and process, which I told her, him.
I didn't bring him up yet.
He's trying to process it, which we have to respect because it's not like Miranda doesn't even know how to process it. It seems like Miranda seems like she's just going off a vibe. She feels it. It feels good. It's something new, exciting. And I get it. But at her age, I can't even say our age, at her age, how long is that new and exciting going to be? And how long is it going to? And I was surprised that Che let her go with the tagline of girlfriend, because that's like a title. Like you said, she said she's not traditional, but she didn't correct her, nor did she say anything to her. Like we saw her facial expression with the whole thing of I'm just the girlfriend. But she never came back and said anything like, let's have a conversation. So I almost feel like it's almost a setup because now Miranda feels like she's comfortable enough to use that title and Che just let her run with it. It's almost like when you use it with a guy and the guy doesn't say anything and he just lets you run with it. And he'll come back and say, I never said I wanted a girlfriend. Yeah, but you never checked me when y'all said it either. So I'm wondering.
Do you still think that Che is a player?
Yeah, I do. And I love her. I think she's so cute. If I was in the girl, she'd be my girlfriend because I love her pretty teeth. I think she's so cute. It's the teeth.
Oh,
Che. Che has beautiful teeth.
They.
Her name is Che, isn't it?
Yes, but you're using the wrong pronoun.
I thought I was just saying Che. I wasn't trying to use a pronoun at all.
No, you said she.
Oh, I'm sorry. They have beautiful teeth. Che has beautiful teeth. I'll just say Che. Che has beautiful teeth. Oh yeah, I was about to say she. Okay.
Look, we're all learning. This is no judgment.
No judgment. And we need more of Anthony. I like Anthony. I like the humor. And I would like to see Aiden come back. And the other guy from Emily in Paris, he's hot. And I'm glad that the doctor recognized because I was like, where do we know him from? He's hot. He plays
He's done a few things. He looks very skinny here, though, in comparison to Emily in Paris.
So do you think that he's going to hook up with Zeta?
We see it already. She's in his bed next week.
Oh, see, I don't watch the previews. I don't want to be teased.
Well, if you did, your heart would have been broken because it's sad. This is the last episode.
Well, that's the sad part. And I'm totally Nicole Parker's. That's me. Like when things go down and someone needs a quick phone call and make something happen, I'm the friend that they reach out to get the food trucks to come driving in, and so we can all eat. But
noted.
I'm going to the comments. Y'all help me pick out my shoes for next week. Tomorrow.
I think everyone was saying the second one.
Oh, the new. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in, Danielle. I've enjoyed your Friday night alone.
You're a mess.
I'm terrible. All right. We have a long line backstage. Let me get to everybody. Miss Brooklyn's backstage. What's going on, Miss Brooklyn?
Hey guys, how you doing?
How are you? What are you going to pull out for us?
No drinking tonight because I'm still technically on the clock with
Oh
this,
God.
with this storm. Life of a property manager, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
This storm has got us working late.
Oh.
But I have my shoe.
Ooh, hold on, let me put myself down.
My BCBGs. Can't wait to wear them again.
When we finally go out, right?
I'm like, when?
Very cute. Very cute. Okay.
Thank you.
In this episode.
The thing with the situation with tampons with young girls, because my girls are grown and they still don't use them. I don't think they've ever used them. They don't like them. When it comes with young girls, it's the thought of putting something somewhere where you haven't even really had the sex talk yet. And you're talking about inserting something into you.
Okay.
And it's not the most comfortable thing. And then, yeah, the string, it can get lost. And that's the string that you use to pull out. But no, when I say get lost, it's because you put on your pants and you put on things. And so, you know, it can move to the side or move here or move there. And you're like, it's not easy to find sometimes. No, but I mean, there's so many different options nowadays. You know, you have the cup, you have the underwear that women wear now that are made for that time of the month, which my daughter swears by. So yeah, you have a lot of options other than tampons and pads. There are other options out there nowadays.
Wow.
So
do you like your girlfriends talk about this stuff?
When we were younger, yeah, we did. We used to ask, do you use a tampon? You use a tampon? You know, when I was growing up, it was like the fast girls used tampons. You know, you was fast because you was putting something in you. You know, the fast girls use tampons. You know, now you look back and you think how silly you were, but you're 12, you're 13, you don't know. And back then, not many parents were open about having those kind of talks and everything and all that. So yeah.
Wow.
So that's
I'm learning something new. I didn't know about the cup. I didn't know about the new under. I'm learning a lot. But this episode.
Yeah, but I miss New York City nightlife. You didn't see in the chat. We was going back on all the clubs, Nell's, Garage, the Limelight.
Oh my God.
Underground, Palladium, Tracks, Emerald City. We was going in on all of them. It's like, dang, I miss all those clubs.
I wonder what some of them are probably actually apartments now. I know Limelight is just like what,
it's a church.
Mall?
It's flea market.
Yeah.
It's a flea market. And Nell's, I don't know what they eventually do with Nell's was my spot. Nell's, no, well, see, let me tell you something about Nell's that people didn't know. And I tripped on that one. Nell's was owned by one of the actresses from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Her name is Nell. She's the one who owned Nell's. On Wednesday nights and Nell's, you had poetry reading. You had poetry reading first, and then the club started downstairs. Upstairs was a nice little kind of restaurant where you could get snacks and stuff. But all the stars went to Nell's. I met.
Why do I not know about this?
I met everybody up in Nell's. Everybody was up in Nell's.
Oh my goodness! When did it close?
I think she sold it, and then they were trying to bring it back, but it was just never the same thing. Once it like that vibe of people that went there left, because Nell's was one of those spots where you stood outside and they were like, no, you ain't ever gonna get in and go somewhere. You ain't getting it. You couldn't have on sneakers, you couldn't have on Timbs, you couldn't have on jeans. Nell's was one of those spots. But it was the spot. I had a good time.
You couldn't get away with stuff like that. They would cancel you.
Yeah, but I had a good time in Nell's. Nell's was a good time. It was a real good time. Anyway, flashbacks. This episode, I felt so bad for Steve. It broke my heart when he was like, I'm never taking it off.
Yeah.
And she was like, but one day you're going to want to move on and everything. He was like, no, never taking it off. With LTW's character, I hope and pray that what they were doing is that they were focusing more on Seema and making her an integral part of the group and making that organic. And maybe next season you'll see more of getting LTW in the groove and making her organic, because I think this season was more a focus on Carrie and what Carrie was going through with Big's death. And everybody else had their storylines, but the main storyline really was Carrie and Carrie dealing with Big's death. And maybe next year you'll see a little bit more focus on Charlotte and her family dynamics and how that's changing. And then you'll see a more organic bringing in of LTW into the storyline. So I'm hoping that's what they're doing.
If not, they're watching now. Now that's what they'll do.
Just start writing it now. That's how you do it, people. Start writing it now. With Naya, I don't know if it's so much that she doesn't want to have kids. I don't get the impression that she doesn't want to have kids. I think she's just over it because of all the failed in vitros. And I think for her, it's just, she's just over it. And like, she doesn't want to try because she's been trying and she's been failing. And for him, it's just, you're not having a kid. But for a woman who's going through the hormones and the shots and the this and the that and all these things to try and have kids, and your body just keeps rejecting it, you don't want to go down that path again. It's hurtful.
And he doesn't get it.
It's emotionally breaking. So I hope they come to a compromise. I hope Naya does somehow connect with Charlotte in a way, because Charlotte went through that, and maybe does investigate the adoption path and adopting a little brown child, please. There are plenty of them out there. So I don't think it's so much that she doesn't want to have a kid. I think it's more that's what's breaking on her. And if you don't shut up, Figaro, my cat is in the background moaning.
Like, you pay attention to me.
That's exactly what he's saying. And I'm glad Seema found her 54, her birthday present. She found her little birthday present.
I'm happy. I feel like it's our birthday present too.
I'm like, yay, Seema, get it on. Can I get one?
Here you go.
I want to order one. I'm gonna be 54 in another year or so. But yes, can I get one too?
Wait a second. Hold on. Someone in Norma said maybe TheKempire can play Steve's rebound. Really?
Miranda and Che. I was shocked. I thought that there was somebody going to be in that apartment too. I will honestly, I'll own it. I thought someone was going to be there. Just for Danielle, Che did check her on the girlfriend thing. In the whole conversation in the staircase, she said, yeah, that whole girlfriend thing, I don't do labels, but you are the only person I'm sleeping with right now. I don't know where that's going to go now, because
they want to see the cat.
No, you don't want to see. His name is Figaro. If you ever seen Pinocchio, he's named Figaro because he looks exactly like the cat from Pinocchio. Only he's about 13 pounds. He's actually sitting in my window now, laying on my radiator. He likes to sit in the window because I have it cracked so he gets air, but then he lays on the radiator so he gets the heat, so he's not cold.
Very fancy cat over there.
He's very weird.
All right, we have a long line backstage. We can talk
to you guys
all
later.
Night.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. No, Miss Brooklyn, thank you so much for calling in. All right, long line backstage. All right, let's try to get to everybody. Miss Janaea, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Miss Janaea?
Hey, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I love this episode. First off, the issue with the tampon, you are cracking me up with your questions. I'm just giggling over here. But that exact scene I witnessed at my aunt's house. It was a cousin of mine. That conversation was the exact same, where she was trying to use one for the first time because she wanted to go swimming, and my aunt was the same. Do you need me to help you? Do you want me to show you? Blah blah blah. And she goes, no, I want to try it myself. And the conversation, she was in the bathroom and everybody else was outside. It was all females, was everybody else. And she goes, I still can't find it. She's yelling out of the bathroom and they're like, do you want me to come in? And then she yells, maybe after 5 minutes of silence, found it. She yelled that and everybody just giggled and went about our
That's crazy that you have a very similar story.
When I watched it, I said, oh my God, this is just when I'm about to blurt out her name. This is just when she had her issue. But no, that was the exact same. And by the way, that French fry thing, I also have a doctor that I worked with who Black, and she did and does the same thing whenever she sees French fries, McDonald's to be specific. She will take your fries.
I mean, McDonald's fries are good.
No, it's only McDonald's. It's her thing. She says it's her weakness. But yes, I just had to put that in there because you always bring up those fries. With I like LTW, or I call her NAP, or whichever we prefer. I like her. I want them to find some way. I need more of her. I like her in there, and I just do. Steve, I think he's just going to wait. I think Miranda's going through something and she's having a phase. You know, guys go through things, women are going through things, and I think he's going to.
It's a midlife crisis.
Could be. And I mean, it could be a combination of her letting her son have crazy sex in the next room, and she and Steve are sitting in a dry bed. It could be a combination of that, and she's just feeling herself. But I think he's going to wait, and he's going to, tell her, I'm going to be here. They're going to have that conversation. And that with Che saying, I think we've run our course or whatever. I think it's going to come out that she is a player, or not that she is a player, but maybe just not ready for something serious or a committed relationship. That it's obvious that that's what she wants. Coming up with cookies or whatever she came over. Don't ever show.
Yeah, took cookies with her.
Don't ever show up unannounced. That's just like the biggest no, especially in a new relationship. Who does that?
People.
Awful. No, that's awful. I think Naya and her husband are going to split. I don't know if it's just me, but they seem to be ill-matched. I mean, they're cute together, but he seems to be a lot younger than her. Just visually, he looks like he's younger, and she seems like on a totally different professor and older. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at them splitting up.
Okay. All right.
Can you put the picture up of that guy?
You mean my boo?
Your boo. Doesn't he look like a cross between Benjamin Bratt and McConaughey?
Oh,
like a cross between them.
Yeah, I can see that. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, and Benjamin Bratt. Just a combo of them two. But that was all. I love the show. I love Charlotte. And to me, I think this show, I forget who it was in the chat. This is such an age appropriate show for my demographic. I'm about to be 48 this year, and this is right up my alley. I think a lot of people that don't like it, maybe they are out of this is just my era, my age range. So
okay.
I'm loving it.
Well, and that's all that matters. Thank you so much for calling in, Mr. Naya.
Have a good night.
You too. All right. I'm trying to get to everyone's calls. We're already over an hour, almost an hour and a half. So everyone, please be straight to the point, what you want to talk about. But okay, because we have a long line. Simone, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Simone?
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me up. Look, I just want to jump right in. I saw a couple of people in the chat saying that Carrie or Seema is who Carrie would be had she not gotten married. That is not true. Seema is kind. She's considerate. She's compassionate. She thinks of others. Carrie is totally self-involved. Remember when Seema came over to her house and she noticed Carrie limping and she immediately was like, let me get you into an appointment with my cousin. Carrie's never done anything like that for anyone. It's all about Carrie. And part of that is because she is the central character. So she has to be a little bit self-focused or self-centered. But I just want to make it clear, Carrie is no Samantha or no Seema. She's selfish. The other thing that I think we need to talk about is the teacher could never, ever hold Carrie's attention. He's another Aiden. He wants a traditional relationship with a traditional woman. Okay. And as far as Big and Carrie, if Big hadn't died, they would have divorced. Big would have cheated on her by now. And I'm not so sure that Natasha didn't get that $1 million because there wasn't something else going on there. Yeah, I said it. Okay. The only reason why Carrie and Big got married was because Big realized he was no longer the young stud and he couldn't pull him like he used to. Did you not see that horrible, horrible proposal in the movie? I wouldn't mind marrying you. Would you mind marrying me? Please. Oh, God, no. You know what? And Ms. Brooklyn Diamond, I'm so glad that she said the entire process that a woman goes through when we're talking about in vitro, it is emotionally and physically taxing. And I know nowadays couples try to be politically correct by saying we're going through in vitro, we're pregnant. No, we are going to be parents, but I am pregnant. I am getting the hormones and the injections. And I really do think that those things, I just wanted to bring that up. Carrie is selfish. She could never keep a traditional man. Her and Big would have divorced had they not been widowed. And in vitro is most certainly difficult. And I agree with the person who says that Miranda and Steve won't be getting divorced. You know, someone said that Miranda didn't love Steve, that he was just convenient for her. I don't know that I agree with that because you don't leave Blair Underwood when you don't love somebody. Okay, remember that? She left Blair Underwood.
Y'all have not let that Blair every week. Y'all mention Blair Underwood in the chat. I see it.
He was a doctor with the Knicks or whatever it was. No, she loves Steve. She's going through a midlife crisis. We allow this of men all the time. Let's allow it of a Miranda. My only problem here is that Miranda was always so full of credibility and integrity. She really took Steve to task for having a one-night stand, and then she goes and allows herself to fall in love. I don't think that they're going to get divorced, but I do think that Steve is going to have to lay down the law. Damn. And that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Simone. Simone read them all for filth. Let me just say thank you for the super chat. Exactly. Thank you so much for the super chat. Exactly says Che is a hottie. I tossed them one. Real Housewives of New Jersey Margaret voice. I can't. I never know how to pronounce this. I apologize, but thank you so much for the super chat. Comedy Police should arrest Che, unfunniest and most annoying character ever. There are more interesting people with fingers Miranda could cheat with. What? Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh my Lord. All right, let's get to the calls. We have a long line backstage. Christy, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Christy?
Hi.
How are you?
This is exciting. I watch you and listen to you all the time. I've never called in because I never have much to say because I'm one of those people that doesn't watch the show but watches the recaps. But now I've watched this show, so I have something to say.
Hey, what are your thoughts?
Oh wait, first let me see.
Oh, wait.
I do have shoes. Oh, they're like this. They're kind of glittery. I don't know if you can see them.
You are ready for the night out.
But I'm like you, I don't drink, so I rarely go out. I don't know why I have them. Okay,
and
so
here we
my
are.
question was, why are they building a women's shelter right next to a really hot club in Brooklyn? That seems like a really bad idea. Like late night drinking, loud noise, vomiting, like that's not going to trigger anyone. I mean, come on.
Good point.
Okay, my other point. Sorry, I wrote down notes, so I would.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so my other point is, why do the writers think that we as an audience needed to see Brady have sex, but we didn't need to see him react to his parents' divorce or the reason behind it? Like, I I don't understand. Like when I took a film class in college once, and they said like everything that you see on screen is there for a reason. So I'm like, what's the reason?
I still don't understand.
And my other thing is, I don't understand. I don't want to be against Che and Miranda, but I need a reason for them to be together. Like, I don't believe that I love yous. You were last week was I love you. This week is we're getting to know each other. So I just don't believe it. Like, I frankly don't believe that Miranda is that exciting in bed for Che. We've seen Che pleasure Miranda, but does Miranda know what to do to her? Because I feel like she might be a little selfish in bed, because with Steve, it was like, either you recreate this magical moment of me cheating on you, or that's it, we're done. So I'm like, what is she bringing to this? And then the other thing is, they haven't really had any real conversations, right? I mean, what is there between them? We haven't seen that connection. It's just been this mind-blowing, eye-opening thing. And if that's all it was, then why not try an open marriage with Steve, right?
You think Steve would be down with that?
I mean, he's down with like keeping his ring on forever, so you might want to bring it up to him. But she's just like, no, I met Che, I love Che, I'm divorcing Steve, it's over. I'm like, there's just such a leap. Like, we need more context, we need more explanation. So that's really what I had to say.
Very, very insightful. Thank you so much for calling in, Christy. Have a great night.
Oh, and Butterscotch wants to say hello to those who wanted to see a cat.
So cute. So cute. Thank you, Chrissy, for calling in. Now you got me thinking. She's got a point about the whole club situation, and also about the whole Miranda and Che situation, because I think they could have really made us fall in love with this relationship, but maybe it's intentional why they're not making us fall in love with the relationship, because it's going to fall apart. Maybe. We shall see. I think they're going to definitely get a second season. No word on whether or not And Just Like That is getting a second season. So we shall see. All right. Miss Bernice is backstage. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
Hello, how are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. I'm drinking Fago Grape. So, okay. Okay. From what I get from the show, Miranda is like Velma from Scooby-Doo. She got all the brains, but she has no emotional connection with anybody.
Okay.
You know.
That's actually a very good analogy right there.
I don't see her because she's mad at the man because he did a one night stand. Get over it.
Would you get over it, Miss Bernice?
If either I'm gonna be there and we're gonna work it out, or I'm out the door. I'm not giving. Okay, I'm not going to go through the emotions of it. Like, I'm just my way of punishing him by treating him like dirt, because it's only so much a person gonna take. I don't care that he said he never taken his ring off. People have their limits. Yeah. And she gonna come home with her emotional detached self, and he gonna be gone. and she wouldn't have nobody to blame but herself. Okay, come on now, really? You're gonna be in a loveless marriage. That's what it is, a loveless marriage. If you're not showing him any emotion, and if he try to show you any emotion, you shoo him away like he the pet. Get away from me, get away from me. Come on now. He gonna seek it elsewhere. That one night stand gonna turn into a true relationship, and he gonna be gone. You better think about that, Miranda.
It's going to be interesting to see how they play this out next season, or even how they end this season with that relationship. Because this episode, we see Steve, he is still, I'm not taking my ring off. He is in love with Miranda, and we don't know why.
Steve is the type of person where he was drilled in his head by his parents. Once you marry, you stay married. No matter what you go through, you don't get divorced. So Steve is in it for the long haul. Miranda is not. She's just going through the emotions. Lack of emotions, because she don't show no emotions. That's one thing I never liked about Miranda's character. She don't show no emotion. Because when I used to watch it back in the day, I used to be a diehard person. Miranda would come on, I put it on mute.
Oh, not mute.
I put it on mute. Once you finish talking, I take the mute off.
Oh, damn, Miss Bernice, you're tough.
You're not giving me anything.
And how do you feel about her this season? Apparently the same.
Exactly the same. You're not giving me anything. Even with the chick on the side. I'm sorry. I have a lot of homosexuals in my family, male and female. And I'm sorry, Che don't even balance her out. Come on now. Really, people? Really? That's not a true relationship.
Damn,
if I'm gonna be with somebody, if they're not curling my toes, there's no need for you.
Not curling my toes. All right, Miss Bernice. I want to get to these last couple of calls, but thank you so much for calling it and making me laugh. Have a good night.
You're welcome. You have a good night too. Bye.
Miss Bernice is a mess. Oh my Lord. She said, you're not curling my toes. All right, we have 4 more callers. That's it. Don't nobody else call in. All right. So Amy, Frady Cat, Erica, and Tawana. Last callers, guys. If you're just joining us, this is our weekly recap and the second to final recap of the Sex and the City reboot. And just like that, if you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts, how you would rate this episode, what you think about what everyone is analyzing here. Do you believe in this relationship between Miranda and Che? What do you think about what's going on with Carrie and this teacher? I love the fact that she showed up and the person she's trying to give this third strike to is someone that also has gone through what she's gone through. I'm here for the relationship. I don't necessarily like him, but I haven't really been invested in Carrie's relationships like some of y'all have been. I'm just saying. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying. So I like the fact that she showed up and she wanted to tell him in person why they couldn't go on this date. And I love that she hugged him as opposed to just shaking his hand. There was some significance for that for me, but maybe not. Amy, I want to bring you up. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
Miss Bernice. Be nice. Sorry. Damn, you're like, oh my God. This episode, I would rate it a 9 and growing. And what I mean by that, it was like things started making more sense to me when I was watching it. Like, I'm not as against what's her name? Goodness.
LTW?
Nicole's here. LTW as I was in the beginning. Miranda's co-star, the girl who's trying to have kids, I felt the connection just a little bit. Like I want to see the end of what her decision is going to be. Like, don't leave that fine man because y'all can't have kids. Steve, I'm deeply still hurt about Steve. Miranda, I feel like she's been so perfect. Well, I say she's always made the right decisions. Maybe she could be a fool for like in her 50s. Just let her be foolish for a little bit. Because I feel like, her not allowing herself to have these moments when she was younger, always trying to be the right one and being a little judgmental of everybody else. Maybe she wasn't there to have those mistakes. I don't know what it is with Carrie and dating. I just don't want to see it just yet. Maybe because I was so invested as a young person when she was going up and down with Big that I feel like, are we going to do this in our 50s, have back relationships where we're calling our friends and saying, what do you think he said? I just really want to see her in a mature relationship. I'm not opposed to Aiden coming back. You know who I want to see come back? Because when they brought that sexy dude for SEMA, I was like, ooh, bring the guy back from the movies that Miranda was I remember when Samantha was in California, the neighbor. If they can bring him, I don't know how he'll get to the East Coast or why he's in the East Coast. Bring him because he was super cute. And I was like, if they can bring him back, that would be nice.
Who though?
With who?
Well,
since Miranda's like wilding, let her get a little with somebody else, right? I just want to see him.
Not Miranda wilding. Okay.
Yeah, Miranda is wilding. That's not. Her situation is it's gonna blow up. I just don't know when. Charlotte's situation, I had that same discussion with my daughter, and she was like, she started crying, and she's 11. Well, she's 10. She started crying because I told her like,
don't have to use tampons. At least I didn't use them until after my first pelvic exam, which is if you aren't sexually active, your first pelvic exam is at 18. And she started crying about the whole idea of something going up there. And she's just like, no. And I was like, girl, my mother didn't tell me about. My mother wore pads even in her late. What's it called? I found out about tampons because I just was sick and tired of pads, and someone told me, "Why don't you try a tampon?" And I was like 21 years old, and I was like, "Well, let me just see how." And it worked out. And from then on, I have been a believer. So for me, I quickly had a discussion with my daughter, like, you should use tampons immediately because it's like it's easier to function. Because there's a lot going on with those pads. They get messy, all types of stuff. And she just was afraid when she heard about the pelvic exam. She started flipping out. So I get it. Other than that, the episode to me was really, really, I mean, they were tying up loose ends. Here's the thing. I did not know it was another episode because I was actually worried. I was like, where's the preview? I didn't get to see it. So I do want to see what happens.
At the very end of the episode.
I waited. I didn't see it. And I have HBO Max.
Me too. Look, me too.
Everybody has to be going to these legit websites.
It's at the very, very end. You have to wait till all the music is done playing and all the credits go by, and then they do a little preview.
I was like, is that it? I was like, I'm feeling like I'm getting closer to these people. Like I'm closer to Nicole Parker's. I'm closer to Miranda's character's co-star. I was like, okay, they're making sense. Seema, she's just seamlessly easy she runs really well. Yeah, I was so happy for her. The club scene, I ain't gonna lie. I'm 40, and I was just like, I just can't be around no teeny boppers. If it's like a situation where it's like all 40 and up, then I can go. But going to a club with some, hell no. But I guess this is the part where I kind of want them to like get away from like the old Sex and the City vibe. But one thing I will say is, now could we get more Rock Achilles to get girlfriends together? I would love to see a Girlfriends on HBO, on an HBO style show.
I agree, and not as like a Sex in the City, but not a sitcom. More like this.
I really want to see what they never gave us our last season of the. I wanted Tony and Joan to be friends again. So if we can't get a movie from it, can they get an HBO series?
Well, the creator says she's just waiting on the right check.
I know, but I'm like, if Joan, now that Joan's about to, well, not Joan, now that Rainbow is leaving Blackish, can we get a Sex and the City reboot for Girlfriends and put it on HBO?
I know they've been trying, but she just needs the right amount of money.
If they did that, boy, oh boy, talk about going in. Because I love Sex and the City, but Girlfriends, that's my jizz. Okay, so other than that, I'll give it a 9 growing. I'm waiting for the last episode. I really want to see it. I'm loving all the characters. They're making more sense. Let's just see what happens at the end.
Okay. I mean, I saw the preview that you didn't see. And Garen says the episode 10 preview starts at 36.59 mark.
Okay, I'll look at it. I'll see it.
Thank you, Amy, for calling in.
Oh, yeah. That's it. I was really confused.
No, we got more. We got one more episode.
Okay, I'm waiting on it. So, yes, we'll convene then and we'll break the whole series at that point.
Exactly. All right. Bye. I'm sorry. I am not gonna get BET Plus for Girlfriends. Damn it. Yes. What's her name? I can't even think of her name right now. She is stunning. And didn't her husband cheat on her? Yeah. Anyways, y'all know I know the tea. Okay, Frady Cat, I'm gonna bring you up. What's going on, Frady Cat?
Hey, Kempire, how are you doing?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I was sitting here laughing at Simone and somebody else that come up. They went in on Carrie and Miranda. Oh my gosh. One lady came on saying Carrie's selfish, and another lady talking about Miranda ain't ever gonna be nobody. So, oh my goodness. I was really surprised at a lot of the callers, but I think for me, I'm going to continue watching. I'm going to continue to root for season 2. I think this entire season has been slower than it needed to be. I think I appreciated this episode, even though it was very blasé. I appreciated it more than all of the other previous episodes because they didn't shove anything down our throats like this time. There wasn't any overly done awareness made towards any sort of community. It just they allowed it to be what it was. Like, especially when Naya and Black Charlotte met. They didn't make it a scene of, oh, my token's meeting your token. Look, like, you know, like they didn't make it that. So I appreciate that, because as soon as I seen them meet, I said, okay, here we go. Here we go. And so I'm glad they didn't make it that. And I'm very surprised that people said they liked Black Charlotte's outfit, because I was over here talking about her she looked like Inspector Gadget to me. She looked like a fool to me. I said, what does this lady have on? Inspector Gadget. Okay.
They've been really taking a lot of fashion risks with Nicole Ari Parker's character. And
I know I appreciate it to an extent, but when she showed up looking like Inspector Gadget and then Captain Save 'em, calling in the trucks and everything, I didn't know what that outfit was supposed to do for the scene. Just to let us know that she's the savior, that she's got everything on deck, on her shoulder and on her kneecap to save the day in an event. So that didn't make no sense. I just need something more scandalous. I'm waiting for more scandalous. Like, if I sit back and I look back, okay, what's happened this season? Okay, Big died. Miranda started cheating. Nothing else really sticks out to me. It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I needed maybe something a little bit more scandalous. Like maybe Seam and Miranda's husband hooking up. Like all of a sudden she finds her love in Steve. And then Carrie having to deal and navigate between that, because she's starting to become very close with Seam. And imagine, you know what I'm saying, between Miranda hooking up with somebody that Carrie was also close with, and now Steve hooking up with somebody she's close with, putting her in that predicament. I just need a little bit more scandalous, because nothing's going on. I mean, Naya's story stays the same every episode. It's the same argument over and over. So I was just expecting more. And I like somebody else had said, I wish Miranda had approached Steve with the open relationship conversation before what she did. Mm-hmm. I feel like that transition was very important, especially with their son being involved, because he was very cold to her when he showed up to the little project that they were doing. He wanted to be his partner. He's like, who are you, ma'am? I'm partnering with my girlfriend. Yeah. You know, he didn't want it. So that conversation should have been had. Like somebody else had said, like, why do we need to see him humping, but we can't see him crying over what's happening with his parents? So there's some things that are being left out. And like you like to remind us, you know, they really are making up and doing what the best they can with having to take out so many scenes like they had to. Yeah. I appreciate the awareness in all communities, but it was just so exaggerated this season. It's like walking into a coffee shop and the person behind you tapping you on the shoulder saying, I have a Black friend. Okay, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to get a coffee, and somebody I don't know is going out their way because of who I am to tell me I have a Black friend. I didn't ask you. So
it was giving very Jenny Wen this week.
Yeah. So that's pretty much. So we got one more episode left.
One more episode.
Okay. What did the preview see? I might have to go back to 39 or 36 minutes and 59 seconds to find out.
Exactly. Well, the preview next week, we have a lot happening because it is the final episode of And Just Like That. We see a weddings happening. I guess we're going to get to understand what is going to continue between Miranda and Che. And of course, Carrie's going to have that date with the teacher. So there's a lot. I wonder what the cliffhanger is going to be for season 2. But if you had to rate the entire season overall, were you happy with the season?
No, I mean, the entire season overall, because I am a fan and I am rooting for season 2, I'm going to give it overall a 6.8 on a good day, a 7.
Oh,
so there's definitely room for improvement. I think with season 2, they'll be able to be more relaxed now that they've introduced everything that they want to introduce to the show. And I'm really hoping to see Che be introduced into Miranda and Steve's relationship, mending that by allowing her to be the third party in the relationship, not only for Miranda, but maybe Steve. Like a lot of people brought up today, Miranda looked like a lame in the bed. She don't look like she's something special to have in the bedroom. So maybe Steve's suffering with the same thing. Like, why can't we all just get along? So hopefully that happens, because that does happen in real life. People do have open marriages.
Yep.
You know, and that man does love that woman. She deserves to give that man a lot more than how she's treating him. So, before I go, the last thing, I thought Charlotte was going to say she was pregnant. I thought it was going to be that she was pregnant at her age. Wouldn't that have been something? And then she started her little flash period.
You were so messy.
Wouldn't that have been funny though? At her age, what would she have done? What would she have done? That's what I was expecting, Charlotte to be pregnant. And I said, oh, okay, here we go. Finally, something new. Because again, what other big news have we really had outside of these stories that have been dragged out for every episode? So maybe she's still pregnant.
Wild imaginations, but you never know. They're watching.
Yeah. Thank you, Kempire. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. All right. I'm going to get some more calls, guys. You're just joining us. Don't forget to like the video. If you're watching the replay, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I want to get to the rest of the callers. Erica, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Erica?
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, I miss y'all. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How you been?
Good. Busy, moving, working, trying to be focused and get some money out here. But
right.
I said I'm going to watch Sex and the City, and I'm gonna get on because it's Friday and I deserve it. Damn it. Yeah. Okay. Shoes, right?
Okay, let's do the shoes.
Okay. Aren't these pretty? I got these about 3 years ago to wear to a Howard homecoming. What do you call it when you wear the mask?
I don't know.
A mask party. What is it called?
Y'all asking me? I told y'all what kind of college student I was. I was working. I was going to parties.
Masquerade, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I wore this, and I had I'm gonna send you a picture, Kempire, if you can. And I had the jewel face now because I miss going out. And I had a white short tube dress with a cape. Oh, honey, I had a cape. Oh God, I love it.
Oh wow, I want to see that picture.
I'm gonna send it anyway. Oh, and I'm drinking. For those that are Haitian, my friend gave this to me. Is this Barbacourt? Those that are Haitian, is that how you pronounce it? But it's rum. I just put orange juice in it because I don't know how to mix it. But it's a very pretty box. You know, Haitian, their art is always like the women and the people in the fields and working. So I love that. Okay. I'm gonna give this episode like a 5.5, maybe 6. Wow. I think what it is, I don't like change. Maybe that's the problem. I'm just not.
Sounds personal.
I like elevation for me, right? But that's selfish. HU, you know. Okay, Kirby, Jersey, K. It's just, I'm just not accepting them being older, I guess, because I'm like, where are the sex scenes? Where's this? I'm so looking forward to seeing the sex scene. And
we get it, because all we saw was her in the bed with the man.
I was like, yes, Seema, give us something. And it could be because of my personal drought, but we're not gonna go there.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you what I thought when she was first introduced to our new boo. When she was first introduced to him, I thought she was going to do a Samantha and in an alleyway with him.
His car.
I don't know where my mind went.
See, because we need it. So thank you, Seema. So I hope it's a good one because they have not had a wild sex scene this whole series.
They did. Che and Miranda in in Carrie's kitchen. Okay.
You're right, but I need to see both people working because Miranda wasn't doing nothing. We already
y'all are ripping Miranda apart tonight. Oh my God.
We already said that we want to see both people working. Let me see. Oh, are we off the 40/40 Club?
Oh,
from New York.
That's closed now, right?
I don't know.
I remember it.
I had a good time. I always had a good time in New York, but this was years ago. But I remember the 40/40 Club. So y'all tell me if is it closed down? I don't know. Let me see. Where's the black stone? Remember her ring that Big gave her in the first Sex in the City? Because when her neighbor was like, "Oh, you have a pretty ring," it was just a band, girl.
Yeah,
I thought I was gonna see the black stone, but that's just something that I picked up. I didn't
think the neighbor was just being nosy.
Clearly, her ring was cute, but she's not needed. I know I'm supposed to root for everybody black, but I'm not liking LTW or Naya. I don't care.
I know. I've warmed up to Naya's character because I like the relationship between her and Miranda now. LTW, I'm rooting for LTW, but I'm just like, it's their fault. It's not Nicole Ari Parker's fault. It's the writer's fault. Sorry, Michael Patrick King.
I like the Moschino outfit that she had on. I looked it up, y'all. It was dope. But I'm just not caring. Naya, it's like when she talks about her, I need to have more empathy about her situation. Okay, I'm gonna get there. I think that's it. I do think that Carrie is traditional. I think we who've seen Sex and the City, I see her as traditional. Yes, she's self-centered and she's a little selfish when it comes to her friends, but I do think that she is traditional and she needs attention. So of course she's gonna keep dating. I think she wants a man. I think she wants to be courted and all those things. So yeah, I think your caller, Simone, who read Everyone a New One, I got you, but I disagree. I do think Carrie is traditional. So she'll get back to being with one person, I guess. Shay and Miranda, I'm warming up to it. I'm glad. I like that Miranda didn't give Shay those donuts or cookies or whatever.
How dare you? First of all, you came and interrupted my creative flow with this highly emotional conversation, and then after you have all my emotions, you're going to take the cookies too?
But you said we're not dating. You're not my boo, so I'm going to take my cookies too.
But I also told you I'm not dating anyone else.
You said you're not sleeping with nobody else.
Oh, well, that part. Give me my cookies.
But I like that she says she doesn't want to be too available. And as women, we do become too available. So I'm glad she's bringing it back. She had to have that embarrassing moment. I think we all been there like, oh, I'm doing too much. Autocorrect. She did all that in front of her. You never did that. Excuse me. I'm a Virgo and I can say when I've been wrong.
That explains a lot.
Can you say when you've been wrong, please? But I'm warming up to them, but I really did think that Shay was over. And I agree with Danielle. Shay, I would spend a little time with them.
Oh, this is turning y'all out.
I know, right?
This is a mess. Okay.
Yes, you watching Janet Jackson tonight? I'm on TikTok with you.
Yes, I am watching Janet Jackson tonight. Stay tuned, guys. Janet Jackson on A&E and Lifetime tonight. Bye. All right. Okay, there we go. Tawana, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. Guys, don't forget, if you're just joining us, we are talking about the Sex and the City reboot. And just like that, it's almost 2 hours. I didn't expect this, but a lot of you have a lot of things to say, which I appreciate. I appreciate you spending your 2 hours on a Friday night with me here on the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe if you enjoy content like this. And also be sure to check out everything that you've missed this week in regards to hot topics. We don't just talk about TV here. We talk about everything in pop culture. All right. Tawana, last but not least, what's going on?
Hi, Kim. I'm not going to keep you long because my mama keep calling me. So I'm going to get straight to it. So this episode was pretty good. I would rate it a 7.
Okay.
I totally understand the whole situation with Charlotte and her daughter because I remember when I started my period, I thought my world was over. I was going to die. And I'm so happy in this episode that they didn't have Steve being like, all over the place. Like, I feel like he had his hearing aids fully charged, turned all the way up. He was there to get some answers. And I like Seema. I do like her. I think she's a good replacement for Samantha. She's not Samantha, but she's a good replacement.
Yeah.
She's something new.
Sassy.
Yes, sassy. And I like LTW. I love her Moschino outfit. I love Moschino. It's very camp. You have to have a specific taste to wear something like that. So I loved it. And I do agree with everyone saying that we should have been able to see Brady's reaction to his parents' divorce. I do think Brady is going to side with Steve, and that's going to hurt Miranda.
Yeah.
But I feel like Miranda, I can't believe that she put her family, basically destroyed her family, and Shay is not giving her any commitment. Like, you 50 years old, you screaming on the stairs, what are we? What are we? Like, you should have found out what you guys were before you decided to leave your husband and your child. It's like, what is you doing?
Ruining her family.
Yes, looking a mess on the screaming on somebody's stairs in New York. I'm surprised she didn't get shot. You don't scream on people's stairs, especially in New York.
I'm surprised somebody didn't scream out in the hallway, "Shut up!"
Yes. But at first, when the season first started, I was like, no, we don't need a season 2. But now, since we're coming to the end, I do think we need a season 2. And everybody wants to see Aiden come back. I don't want to see Aiden come back. He has a wife. He has kids. We already got one homewrecker. We don't need another one. I want to see Burger.
What?
Carrie's boyfriend.
What?
Listen, Burger was fun. He was fun.
Where was Burger fun?
He was like he was a writer too, but he was like a comedian type of writer. So him and Carrie has that in common. He was fun. He made her laugh. He made her smile. And he's probably still single out there in the city too. And he's probably matured. So I think it would be nice if Burger came back and apologized for what he did to her. And maybe they could spark up something new.
Okay. I want to see her get revenge. I want to see her get revenge on Burger. That's what I would want to see.
Oh my God. You don't like Burger? I know. Okay, he broke up with her on a Post-it note, and then she got high and she got arrested. But you didn't like him before that?
No.
Oh my God.
Of course, Danielle is Team Burger. I can't. She just likes to be contrary. Anyways, Tawana, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next week for the final
episode. All right. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to everyone that sent in the super chat. Y'all know I didn't have dinner yet. Just saying. Look, and I was here for 2 hours and I didn't eat dinner yet. And I got to figure out what I'm eating. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here for our recap of And Just Like That, the second to last episode. Next week is the season finale. I'm pretty sure that they're going to get a season 2 if they want one. And I think that they need one. And I hope they take notes from what people have been saying about the show being a little too extra woke. You know what I mean? A little too woke for me. But I feel like this was a solid episode. And based on everyone's rating, you guys also felt like it was a solid episode as well. For those who are watching replay of this, I want to know what you thought of the episode, your highlights, the things that people said in our calling aspect of the show. Let's continue the conversation below. Thank you again to our Team Kempire Royal Club members. Thank you to everyone sending super chats, Venmos, Cash Apps, PayPal, all of that. Thank you to everyone on TikTok that's been watching as well. Thank you to our moderators, guys. Don't forget to show love to the moderators as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yes. Let's get out of here. Bye. Play some music.